Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Time to do kind of a spring yearly ritual to old 1768 here. This thing sits around so much, and I've spent so much time trying to get around to it. That it needs a little bit of love. Going to dump some oil down the cylinders, roll the engine over, make sure everything stays free. We'll do the same thing with starting engine, roll that thing over. I overfilled the heck out of that so that it would have plenty of oil on everything, because I knew it was going to be a while before I got back to it. And a few squirrels under here, acorn holes. But I just enjoy looking at it a little bit today. Took the injectors out of this a few years ago, so I had easier access of dumping oil down the cylinders. Every time I come out here, I scrape some grease. I mean, plenty of it here. Even look at this fuel tank. I mean, oh man, that thing must have been a leaker back in its day. I'm sure everything leaked on this. Wow. But I always make sure that we get all the stuff out from around these plugs that go down in the pre-combustion chambers before we remove anything. I'm sure you guys can hear the frogs. Springtime, they're out again. They're just loving life in that pond down there right now. There's number one. Number two. And cylinder number three. That's all of them. Okay, with everything cleaned off, we'll dump some good stuff down there. Just kind of refresh everything a little bit. Don't worry about using lots either. Oh yeah, that's good. Play with compression release a little bit. That works nice and smooth, which is good. Neutral. Take our wrench for manually barring it over. Engages just like that. We'll just bar it over. Let that oil circulate. Don't want to go so fast that we push it back out. Now we'll just we'll basically do the same thing with the starting engine. Go slow though. This one's plenty full of oil. I don't have the hand crank rod in here, so just engage it with the screwdriver. That's still turning nice. Has good compression yet too. Okay, we'll take it a step farther now. Limbering things up. Check the main clutch. Still moves. Steering clutch levers have good spring. Okay. Like I said earlier, we're in neutral. Shift pattern on this is a little bit different than you would think. It actually shifts in a pattern that's like down and up and then up and down. See what I'm saying? It's like you don't just go and like clunk into a gear. You have to like kind of bring it over, and then it comes down, and then it kind of springs back to the center a little bit. It's kind of an odd way to shift, but that's the early way of doing it. So main clutch engaged. We'll select gear 2. So we'll go over, hook it in. See how that works? We're in neutral. Go over and hook it in. We're in second gear. Next, I'll lock the steering clutch levers back and just wedge these boards up against the fuel tank cap. One of these days, one of them's going to come flying out of here and it's going to be really funny. Hasn't happened yet. Okay. Steering clutches are blocked, disengaged. Climb down. So the last Rube Goldberg setup I need to put into place is take our Caterpillar track adjusting wrench and we'll use it to engage the brake. I would just use the brake lock on the other side, but it doesn't work. Okay, so to test the clutches, we have it in gear. Both steering clutch levers are blocked to the disengaged position. Brake is applied. Final step, engage the main clutch. So now when I roll this engine over, we should be slipping the steering clutches. Even though it's in gear, main clutch engaged, if those clutches are free, this thing is not going to want to roll. If it still wants to roll, that means those clutches are stuck together. So, use my knee here because I got to do this one-handed. There we are. We're engaged to the engine. It's not moving. So, we know the steering clutches are not stuck. That's a good thing. All right. Boards are off of the steering clutches, so they are re-engaged. Brake has been released. We're still in gear. Main clutch still engaged. Now, we just want to make sure this thing moves. Yep, tracks are moving. That means the main clutch works. Come around here once again. Main clutch disengaged. Now it should not want to roll. Yep, we're good. That means the main clutch is not stuck. So now that I know all the clutches and brakes work, we'll re-engage the main clutch. And what I want to do is roll this thing ahead a bit, and the goal is to just kind of get all the gears that were above the oil line and the whole gear train covered in oil again. Just roll those things around, circulate everything, and I should probably go at least one full revolution of the drive sprocket to make sure that big final drive bull gear in there gets oil all the way around. So basically about halfway off the planks from where we're sitting now. Should be fun. Okay, so we've taken it about far enough. Plenty of plank exposed back there, so we'll put it in reverse. Main clutch disengaged. Get it out of two. Lock it up into, yep, that's reverse. Re-engage main clutch, and we'll put it back to where it belongs. Okay, I think we're done. Looks like I got it back to where it's supposed to be. Yep, squarely on the planks. Oh, it made tracks today. Look at that. So that's pretty much the yearly ritual with old 1768 here. Make sure everything just kind of stays lubed. Make sure everything gets, you know, a fresh bath of oil back in that gear train. You know, when these things sit with gears above the oil level for a long time, condensation will build. It'll start to rust teeth. It just kind of ensures that everything just keeps getting a bath of lubrication from time to time. A lot of people would say, why don't you just hook onto this thing and drag it around with another machine? Well, this does have that bent rod, and when you wheel it over manually, you can still feel a little bit of a catch in there. So I just hate to slam this thing in gear and just start winging things around in there. I'd rather just bar it over by hand, and besides, it's good exercise. I might be old enough to know better, but I am still too young to care, so there's that too. And I love this thing though. Just love these 3-cylinder cats. This one has all the grunt, all the torque, all the power of that big wide one that I got, but it's just in this little narrow gauge, compact little package. This thing's just a brute, all power. Love it. I'd love to tear into this thing tomorrow and just make it run, but too many other irons in the fire, so this is as close as we get to playing with it. I'll cover it back up here, and we'll probably do this again 1 or 2 more times this summer. Just kind of have some fun with it, keep it limbered up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you back again.